I think it's
No,
going
no,
there.
no.
Uh-huh.
Just click on that. Use another one.
Okay.
Create one.
Then create one. Okay.
Now give your Gmail ID and don't use your office ones, huh?
Sure.
Just saying you already have a Microsoft account. Click on sign in. Okay. Use your card information from the top. This name and everything.
Yeah.
Use exactly the same whatever is in the card. Okay. Or
So I have to identity verification by card,
yes.
meaning
First fill everything. Just in
mhm.
company's name, you can write anything or leave it if you don't.
Okay.
Just give your PAN and just write your one-liner address. That's it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Telangana state. I
Uh,
understand.
Click on both and click on next.
Here I'm not able to click yes.
Something is left out or what?
Please do not enter.
Uh,
Okay. Country code. Any
Text
of
me. Click on text. No, no, no. Click on text me. Click on
okay.
text me. Yes. Write down the verification code and then move to next.
Okay. Verify code.
Yes. Once verified, you can go down. Why it is showing Wipro Limited at the top?
Maybe it took from my cache memory because I work there now. So shall I just remove it?
You can write anything self or
Sure.
uh, like, yes. Next. Hmm. So for everyone who did not create an account, I'm recording this session. So you can check on the recording later and you can create your accounts.
Okay. So now I should enter my card number.
Your card owner name, your card number, and wait.
Hmm.
Uh, Stop sharing your screen while presenting your card information.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it done or what it is
Yes,
showing?
this is the payment mode. And shall I say sign up?
Hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Enabling multi-factor block. Next, click on next.
It's asking me to verify
You
my
click
identity,
on
I
that.
guess.
Yes, click on that.
Yeah. I would have been received the code. Yes. Okay.
Anyone staying in Pune?
Yes, I am staying.
Raj Gaikwad is in Pune.
Please be safe. Don't eat outside, huh?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually needing ventilator is what I heard today morning.
Yes. Don't eat outside.
You're also in Pune, Abhishek?
Currently, I'm in hometown.
Okay.
Yeah. Based out of Pune only.
Okay. Shall I just submit here?
Yes, yes.
Super.
Even if you want to have a water, please take like sealed bottles and all.
Yes, sure.
Go to portal. Click on go to portal.
Sure.
There was an option. Go to portal. Yes.
Mm.
I can bookmark this.
You can go to home first. You can go to home first. Click on home.
Okay.
Yes. Now you can. Yeah.
Bookmark this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Enable, if you have not enabled multi-factor authentication through your phone or authenticator app, just do it. Okay.
How do I do that?
There is an option. It is manage multi-factor authentication. There's an option down below. No, no, right hand side in the notifications itself. Yeah, below that, multi-factor
Oh yeah.
authentication. Yes. Uh, up, scroll up, scroll up. What it is saying?
This is multi-factor authentication will be required for all users. The start will begin on 16th of October, beginning with the admin portal and then Intune admin portal.
Okay, whenever it asks for an enforcement, you can do that.
I
Like,
think I can go here and then set it up.
yeah, yeah,
Take it at, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
yeah. Later on, you can do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, don't click on upgrade on the left side. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
so you have to click on upgrade only when your free trial expires.
Sure.
Okay, so
And
from today
any,
itself, you will be getting 30 days and $200 of credit.
mhm.
Okay, you can practice this admin labs and also DevOps lab. Okay, once you
Okay.
move to DevOps.
And for this, do I need to delete any resources if I create by mistake? Like, for practicing?
You can see $200 is enough. Don't create resources so much like of high charge.
Hmm.
Okay.
But for the
And
last 5 classes, what we've covered, I will only try to practice them. For that,
practice
whatever.
and remove after that. Delete the
Sure,
resources after that. Okay. Yeah.
sure.
Hello, hello, Abhishek.
Yes.
Abhishek, like I have Visual Studio credentials. Like I just went and logged into the Azure portal. Like with that, we'll get any free credits or like it will be as like pay as you go. Like it says, it was my company account.
Don't use company's account. Use your own.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Use your own like Gmail ID or Hotmail, whatever you have, personal ID, and from that you can create. Uh,
Yeah,
and necessary thing is credit card. You should be having a credit card for that.
yeah, okay, Abhishek.
Yeah. Okay, let's start. You can stop sharing your screen.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Let us start now. For those who were asking that Monday's recording is not uploaded, Monday we were not able to continue with the class due to there was no proper internet. It was an internet issue. So today we'll be doing this same lab. Okay. Okay, let's start. So starting from the last lab itself, those who joined new, please look back into the last class. Okay, so we created two virtual networks and we attached a NSG to the core services VNet and we were allowing a traffic from the application security group. Okay, then we created a DNS. So DNS, so I was explaining the DNS. Actually, it's a domain name service. DNS. So DNS is domain name service. Domain name service provided by whom? Domain name provider. Okay. Domain name providers. So they are the authority who provide the domain names, available domain names, which are authorized and available over the internet. Popular sites are, you can go with, like for example, there is GoDaddy, right? There's GoDaddy. So you can go and you can search for, suppose you are starting any new business, you want to get the domain, you can search for the domains. Suppose if you search for this domain, what it is showing, it is occupied by some broker. Okay, it's occupied, still available, but it is occupied by some broker. Others are available like contoso.org.in, like this. So these are some like specific and popular domains like .com, .org, which you will find always occupied by the brokers. Okay, there are brokers here as well. So it will take some money from you and they will provide you that. Okay. For example, add something else here, contoso.no.com or something. See, available at rupees 1. Since this may not be popular, so it is available at rupees 1 and no one has occupied the domain. So not only GoDaddy kind of platforms, they provide the domain name. Azure also provides the domain name. Okay. AWS also provides the domain name service. Okay. So here the service name is DNS zones. If you go and check, you can create DNS zones here. So whatever the domain name is available with either GoDaddy or any other hostinger or any other domain name provider, that will be available here as well. But if that domain name is not available with them, that will not be available here as well. If you search for like contoso.com, what it is saying, the DNS zone name you entered is reserved. Choose a different name. You choose contoso.no.com. No error you will get here since the domain is available. Okay. So you can have a domain name, you can create it using Azure itself. So Azure provides you the service to get the domain name. So what we did last, we created a domain name here. Just what you need to do, you need to provide a name here. Choose the subscription, choose the resource group, and choose a name for the domain. Like we chose on contosoN.com. Okay, contosoN.com. And we created this domain. So this is the domain we created, contosoN.com. Now, in this domain, what you can see here, there are name servers. On the left hand side, on the right hand side, sorry, you can see name servers. What does these name servers do? Actually, these name servers are with Azure. You can see that azure-dns.com, azure-dns.net, azure-dns.org, azure-dns.info. What are these? These are servers with Azure, which ultimately resolves the request to contosoN.com. So to increase the, what you can see, to increase the resolution time, they have created, Azure is providing you with the name servers. Four name servers there are. Okay. So what these name servers, and these are powerful name servers. Okay. Whatever request they will get. See, you can see maximum number of records set is 10,000. You can have 10,000 records set available or added over here. You can add over here. Now, generally, what are record set? Record set means, for example, I'm running something on my resource. I'm running any application on my resource. Now, I want to attach the same resource, whatever is running over some private IP. Maybe I need to attach it to my DNS. Okay. Basically, what we do, we mask the IP with the domain name. Like in the market, there are so many domain names. You can see facebook.com. What are these? Behind that, there is a masked IP. So no one remembers the IP. It is easy to remember the domain name, but not the IP. Okay. That's why the domain name came into picture. So let's go to the domain. And whatever in the last class, if you see, we created two virtual networks. And in those two virtual networks, what we did, we created subnets. We created subnets. If you go to the virtual networks here, core services VNet and manufacturing VNet, those two virtual networks were there. If you go to settings, you see subnets. We created what? We created two subnets here. One was shared services subnet, one was the database subnet. Now you can see with the shared services subnet, what we did, we attached a NSG, network security group. And what this network security group is doing, it is allowing the traffic because we configured the rules here. Configured the rules. What rule we configured? That allow anyone who is coming from the ASG. So generally, why we use ASG, application security group, to safeguard our application so that no random traffic can come to our application and access our application. So we masked our application with ASG, application security group. Okay. So traffic, like whatever traffic is coming from ASG on port number 80 and 443, allow that traffic. Okay. So it is coming on shared services subnet. So these are two subnets in core services VNet. Similar way, there was a manufacturing VNet. And if you see subnets, there are two subnets in the manufacturing VNet also. Sensor subnet 1 and sensor subnet 2. Okay. Now, since the traffic is coming on core services VNet in the shared services subnet. Okay. So what we will be doing, since the traffic is coming over there might be some application running in some machine over there inside core services VNet. So suppose it is running on 10.1.1.4. Suppose it is running on 10.1.1.4. So what you need to do, that is a IP, okay, where the traffic is coming or where the application is running. So you will go to the DNS. Inside the DNS, what you will be doing, you will be adding the record set. You can see an option over here to add the record set. So as of now, there are no record sets here. No record sets. Okay. Click on give the name to any record, this record set. For example, the name, any name like www. Okay. Type of record set, it is a type A, IPv4 address record. Okay. Since we are resolving an IPv4 address, 10.1.1.4 is a 32-bit IP addressing system. IPv4 means 32-bit IP addressing system. IPv6 means 128-bit IP addressing system. Okay. So since we are resolving here a 32-bit IP addressing system, that means IPv4. So that is, we are choosing a type A record over here. Okay. Then we are not providing any alias record. So what is alias? Alias name, you might be heard about alias names. Like number of names can be given to any, like for example, this is Azure. So you can give AZ. AZ is also known as Azure. You can give multiple alias names. Okay. So is there any alias? We are not setting any alias for this. Okay. Just the name www. Okay. And behind this www, you can see what will be attached. What we have purchased. We have purchased the domain. So behind that, it will be like .contoso.n.com. It will be attached behind that www. Okay. And these are the, like TTL means, what is TTL? Time to leave. Okay. Time to leave means when you ping on this record set, so it will ping for that many, that much of time, which is mentioned over here in the TTL. So TTL unit is R. So if you set R, it will keep pinging on for 1 hour. And then the request will be timed out. If you choose minutes, okay, the TTL request will check for 60 seconds, that is 1 minute, and then it will get timed out. So you can mention the TTL time. Okay, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute. Okay, you can mention that. IP address. Now where this record set should resolve. So suppose you are giving 10, 10 .1.1.4. This is a private IP address. Maybe some machine where the application is running. Now, once we add this, adding a record set here. Now, when I should be pinging contosoend.com, it should resolve to this IP. It should resolve to this IP, 10.1.1.4. Now, since it is a public DNS, we can ping this public DNS from our command prompt directly. We go to command prompt, run command here, nslookup www dot what we have taken the domain name contosoend.com n.com. And take the name server name. So any name server. I'm taking this one, first one. Okay. Copy. This is the name server. Okay. It should resolve to that particular IP which I have added in the records set. So name is www.contosoend.com, where it is resolving 10.1.1.4. That means whatever we have configured with Contoso and DNS, it is working fine. Okay. This is just for the check whether whatever we have configured is resolving to that particular IP which we have created as a record set or not. And see all the name server. You can see all the name servers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the name servers are coming up. So means whatever we have created in Azure, it is resolving from our local. Okay. Since this is what? This is a public DNS. That's why. If it would have been a private DNS, this will not be able to resolve. Okay. This will not. Since private DNS, we can only check from that particular server. Okay. Now, generally, these websites, GoDaddy and all, they will not provide any private DNS. But Azure provides. If you want to configure instead of public DNS, if you want to configure any private DNS, private means limited to your organization. You have deployed any application to your organization and you want to share it organization wide. Everyone you should use it within your organization. Okay, privately. So there is a private DNS you can resolve. So private DNS zones. Now this cannot be accessed from outside. Okay. So private DNS, you can click on create, choose the resource group. You can give the name private.contoso.com. privatecontoso.com. And then you can create it. Running the validation passed, you can create.
Abhishek, if you are connected through VPN, then also we'll not be able to connect.
Come again.
If we are connected through VPN, then also we're not able to connect to service.
Where
So
you are?
let's suppose Yeah, like this, you told like just now, like this resource we can use only inside our organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's suppose when any condition comes,
Okay,
like we are
okay,
outside
okay,
the
okay.
organization,
You are saying that you are connected to a VPN. Okay.
VPN, correct?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
actually, Azure works on zero trust model. So when zero trust model comes into picture, that means even if you are coming through a VPN, then also you have to authenticate. You have to come from a private server where you have deployed this VPN. Then only you will be able to use it. Okay.
Hmm.
Now you can see in the private DNS, there are no name servers. Nowhere you will find the name servers because name servers are not needed here. Okay. What will be needing here, since this is private DNS, you will be needing what? Virtual network link. Since this is private DNS, you will be linking it to some private server. Private server will be running where? Into virtual networks. So you will be linking it to a virtual network. So if you configure virtual network link, so as of now, you can see it is 0 here. Okay, you can go from here as well, and you can go to DNS management and set from there as well. Virtual network links. You can add virtual network link over here. You can give the link name, for example, since we will be attaching it to the manufacturing VNet. Manufacturing hyphen link. Select your virtual network. So I'll attach to manufacturing VNet now. So we'll create this. A link will be created over here. And that link will attach this private DNS to what? To the VNet. And once you attach it to the VNet, you can use any VM or any resource from inside the VNet, to attach those resources from inside the VNet to attach it to the private DNS into the record set. You can add anything into the record set. Earlier, what we did, we can attach any public server where public applications are running. Now we are doing it for the private ones. So see, the link is being created. Now you can go to the record set and you can attach the subnet now. Okay, if you go check for the record set. Now, for example, I'll be adding from the sensor subnet. So I'll take sensor VM here and in any VM from there. So sensor vm.private.contoso.com. Again, it's a type A type because it's a IPv4 address. You can choose the TTL and you can provide the address. Suppose I'm giving the same one 10.1.1.4. Add it. Now, since there are no record sets here, you cannot handle this through your command prompt locally, since this is a private DNS. So if you want to resolve this, you want to check whether the connection is done or not, you have to go to that particular server. Which one? Which you have added. And from there, you can check whether it is resolving to private.contoso.com and or not. Okay. All the IPs in this manufacturing VNet will resolve to private.condoso.com since you have attached it to the manufacturing VNet. That's why. Other than this
Hey,
VNet,
Abhishek.
Other than this VNet, no one can resolve. Okay, from local, no one can reach out to this private.contoso.com. Only people who are into this private network can use.
Abhishek, this is Bhagesh.
Yeah, Bhagesh.
So can't we resolve that the private DNS, the contesto.com from Azure CLI,
But Azure CLI also you will be using where?
the platform level?
Platform level. But if you're talking about this cloud shell or
Correct. Cloud
download
shell. Yeah, the
cloud.
cloud
No,
shell.
no. This is also public, na. See, what is Azure? Azure is a public cloud provider. So anyhow, even if you access from here as well, then also you actually understand you need a name server to resolve. There are no name servers in the private DNS. Name server you will only get in the public DNS. Now, either if you are using those domain name from GoDaddy, GoDaddy will provide you the name server. Okay. If you are taking it from Azure, Azure will provide the name server. But private DNS, you don't have any name server. Since you are not using it for public usage, like public traffic, like there will be a limited traffic into the private.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, let me give you some scenario.
Mhm.
We actually running a hosting. We
Mhm.
have a client domains basically, which is on the Windows server.
Mhm.
Now we are managing the private DNS records at their org level, right? For the
Mhm.
domain level, the DNS server. So in this case, how this private DNS zone would help? I mean, we do have the dedicated DNS servers for the client by client.
Are those
Since yeah,
limited type of customer you have which are coming through a private network only? Means they are not using any public network.
I mean, we do have that firewall uh,
Mhm.
to route their traffic, right, for the public network.
Mhm.
But I'm just trying to understand. I mean, in what scenario this would help the private DNS zone?
Private DNS zone will help only for the internal resolution. Internal means only, for example, you are working into XYZ organization.
Hmm.
That will help within your XYZ network. Means if you are using anything within you are having that private network within your XYZ. So you can resolve using private.contoso.com only under XYZ, not any third party or any client or any customer.
Okay.
Only one way. When you onboard your customer, if you are onboarding your customer to your Entra ID as a guest user,
Okay.
in that case, they can access.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Abhishek, can we add subdomains if customer are having main domain and they wanted to add subdomain from the public?
Subdomain means how you will add subdomain.
Yeah, for example, we have provided one of the domain from Azure. So they wanted to go with the GoDaddy and they want to purchase their own domain. That domain will be routing to the our server.
Mhm. You can do that. But
Like,
but ultimately it should resolve to the main one.
okay, it should be resolved by Azure only, right?
Yes. Where your servers are hosted.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And what about the SSL certificate in this scenario? How can be other SSL certificate here?
SSL certificate you will be configuring within the server only, na? Where you will be running the application.
Okay,
That has nothing to do with the DNS SSL server. Sorry, certificate.
okay, okay.
Okay. So certificating authority is different from DNS authority. Got it?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So certification authority will provide you the certificate and you will go and configure those certificates within the server where our application is running. Now, whether it is a customer facing application or it is a private application doesn't matter. Now I'll be creating a VM inside this. Okay. So we'll be checking for the inter-site connectivity from one VM to other. I'll remove this resource group and create a new one. Otherwise, when you will be following the lab, you will get confused. Okay. So I'll go accordingly.
Uh, this is Pagesh again.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, could you please help me to to provide where should I find the archival videos, training videos?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
So, team might have shared this folder with you, Azure DevOps batch 12th January 2025. This is the folder. If not,
Uh,
if not, let me know your email ID right now. I'll share it.
sure, sure. It's a bhagesh.dhamecha, BHAGYESH
Hmm.
dot dhamecha, DHAMECHA at gmail.com.
You might be receiving an email by now.
Sure. Perfect. Thanks, Abhishek.
Go inside. As of now, I think I shared the wrong one. Wait. Hmm.
It's November 17 batch.
Yes, it's November 17. Yes, sure. Just give me 1 minute. Let me copy from here. Check the new email, okay, for this
Sure. Sure.
17 November. Inside that you will go, you will find one folder for admin class, fundamentals class, one for admin class.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
in admin one, I'm going to upload all the records, okay, what we are doing.
Perfect. Sure,
And
sure.
if you want to follow the labs which we are doing, so you can go inside this Azure admin and DevOps lab. There are two links to my GitHub account,
Okay.
okay.
Sure. Sure. Thanks.
So these are the labs, what we are doing. You can follow these labs. Okay.
So these are all completed labs, you mean?
Completed means
I mean, this is already we covered as a part of training, or this just the
this
labs?
we will
Oh,
labs we will be doing as a part of training to understand what all options we have while creating the resources, how we can update the resources, how we can configure the resources, how we can destroy the resources for all those purposes.
I see.
Because
Okay.
in order to learn DevOps, you will be needing how to control the resources. How, right?
Correct.
Because
Correct.
whatever you will be deploying using DevOps, you will be deploying within portal only.
Exactly. Correct.
So for that, we are using this 104 labs. Okay.
Okay.
And whatever other documents also, I'll be uploading within docs folder only. Okay. For example, Kubernetes, related to Kubernetes, Docker, and everything later on.
Okay, sure.
Yes. So this is a folder. Go to resource group. Now let's create a VM. So in the last lab, we have just witnessed how we can create virtual networks and subnets, and how we can secure our virtual networks and subnets using a network security group. Also, how we can allow traffic and deny traffic into network security groups. Also, how to configure private DNS and public DNS to the resources or to the subnets and the virtual networks. Now we'll be creating resources inside those virtual networks, and we'll be checking for the connectivity between those resources, how we can work with the connectivity. So I'll rename the resource group accordingly. If we are doing lab number 5, so I'll rename it RG5. KZ104 RG5. Virtual machine name I'll give core services VM, for example. I'll take the region as East US. You can take as per your available region. If you're working from any other region, you can take that. Okay. Availability options. I'm not choosing any availability zone. I don't need any infrastructure redundancy. So I'll skip that. Security type, follow whatever is given. Okay. I'll go for trusted launch. Windows Server. Let me search for Windows Server. Jan'22 data center edition, 2019 data center edition. Okay. So I'm choosing this one. ARM64 is not available for this particular image. So x64 is to be chosen. Don't need an Azure discount, Azure spot discount. Size, I'll be using D2S V3. You can choose the sizes from here. Okay. I'm taking whatever is coming default. Okay. Name you can provide, username. I'm just allowing that RDP to connect the machine. Licensing, we don't have an Azure hybrid license. I'll not choose that. Disk type, whatever is I'm taking as default. We'll go to the networking. We'll create a virtual network here. Core services VNet. VNet. Address range will take 10.0.0.0/16. Subnet name will choose as core. Same address range 10.0.0.24. Leave all this. I am disabling the monitoring tab here. I don't need to monitor. So now a machine will be created here with a virtual network. Just taking a snap for the attendance. The AZ104 is not a big deal, but when you add it with DevOps, then you should be knowing every aspect, like how you can manage the resources in Azure. Like if you will review by while doing AZ104, like we are doing, we are creating machines or VNet or any other thing, you may not find it difficult. Okay. Or you may find it like it's like but when you combine all those things with DevOps, when we will be going to DevOps, then you should know how to set up all those things. So it is necessary to go through all the services. Might be some of you might be using all the resources in your organization currently, but then also. This one VM created will create another one. Same resource group. Manufacturing VM. Everything is same. Trusted launch, Windows Server 2019. I'll choose whatever is default for the disk. Networking, I'm creating a new subnet. Manufacturing VNet. Now this time, always make sure, I'm again saying, do not use the same address space within Azure every time. Like we have choose 10.0.0.0/16 in core services VNet. Do not choose the same range over here. Otherwise, when you will be creating link between those two virtual networks, it will be a conflict. So now I'm using class B here. Okay, that is class A 10.0.0. So from class B, I'll use 172.16.0.0/16. You can use class C also, 192.168.0.0. Okay. Subnet name. And the range will be 172.16.0.0/24. Click on OK. Disable the diagnostics tags.
Abhishek, like in real time, this the VMs which we are creating, they can be in different resource group also, na? Or it will be in same resource group.
Yes. Resource group does not matter.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Regions do matter. Resource group does not matter.
Yes.
Yeah. Region means if one is in East US, one is in West US, then it will be called as a cross region. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But resource group does not matter anyhow. So now we created two virtual machines in two network. What we will be doing is be trying the connectivity between them. So let's check the connectivity first. So there is a service in Azure called Network Watcher. Network Watcher is the service. This is used for connecting any kind of connectivity you want to test. You can use Network Watcher for that. So in the Network Watcher, if you go to the network diagnostic tool, there is a connection troubleshoot option. Choose your source from where you want the connection from the virtual machine. Source type is virtual machine. Name the virtual machine, core services VM. Destination, again, you have to go to virtual machine. I have to test the connectivity between manufacturing VM. Preferred IP version, both. You can choose IPv4 and v6, both. Okay. Protocol, we'll go with TCP. Destination port. Now we know that Windows VM where you can connect 3389 RDP port is an RDP port. Okay. Source port, don't need, keep it blank. Diagnostic test, keep it default. Okay. You can run the diagnostic. It should be unreachable. Okay. Because there are no connections between the virtual networks as of now. Even though they are in Azure, then also. Now I'll be explaining two methods in general. One is a general method, how to connect resources in two networks. So what we did here, we just created a VM or two VMs, you can say here. These are two VMs. They both are within a subnet. This is a subnet. This is a subnet here. And these subnets are within a virtual network. So this is a virtual network, suppose. So you have a core services VM, core services VM. Just a minute. This is core services VM. This is manufacturing VM. VM. Then this is core subnet. Core subnet. This is manufacturing subnet. And this is core services VNet. And this is manufacturing VNet. Now, when it comes to connectivity, when we talk about connectivity, if organizations leave it on Azure, if you go with Azure, so generally there are two things. Organizations do go with Azure or not. If they are going with Azure, then the solution is go with network peering. Network peering. So there is an option in VNet. Okay, there is an option VNet that you can perform a VNet peering. So there will be a peering link from this VNet to this VNet. Since both are in Azure, they trust each other. Okay, so there will be a link from this to this VNet, and there will be one more link from this VNet to this VNet. So that link, we call it as a peering link. Okay. So if organizations leave it on Azure, then Azure provides peering. Okay, you can go with peering. We call it as VNet peering. Here also VNet peering. VNet peering allows resource in one VNet or subnet to connect to another VNet or subnet. Using what? Using peering link. Okay, using peering link. This is Azure method. Remember, this is Azure method. Okay, I'm again saying. Generally, organizations, they don't follow Azure method. So what they will do? They will be having a firewall set up here as well. They will be having a firewall set up here as well. So if the firewall is set up in both the VNet, generally peering will not work. So if you go with Azure connectivity, then the solution is go with network peering. What we call it as VNet peering. VNet peering. So this is Azure method. If you go with custom method, if you go with custom method, of VNet integration. So what it says? It says, since both the VNets are having firewall, so peering will not work. Peering will not work. So you need to set NSG rules. NSG rules on both sides. In the NSG. associated to the subnet, associated to the particular subnet. What NSG rules? Inbound and outbound rules. So suppose I'm talking about second method now. This is first method. VNet peering is first method. That is an Azure method. But organization do not trust Azure. Okay, they will say, I don't trust you. I will go with the traditional method. So traditional, according to the traditional method, what happens? There are two VNets, both having firewall. Both having firewall. Now I'm not naming specifically. I'll write VNet 1. And this, the second one, which I'm saying, traditional method, you will find it everywhere. VNet 2. Here also there is a firewall. Here also there is a firewall setup in both the VNets, which will generally block the peering. So if you set up a peering between them, suppose this is VNet peering link. VNet peering link. So what it will do? Firewall will block. Firewall will block. As organization do not trust Azure method. Okay. I'll write here why it will block. Okay. So because organization do not trust Azure connectivity method. That's why it will block. Okay. So now they want specific subnets to be connected because peering, what peering will do, all subnets, all machines can connect to all subnets and all machines inside VNet 1 and VNet 2. So that's why peering is blocked. They want, if some specific resource want to access to some specific resource, only connectivity should be established between both of them. Both of them. These two. So what they will do, they will set up NSGs over here in the subnet. NSG. These are NSGs.
But Abhishek, these NSGs will attract additional cost to the company.
No.
No. Okay. It is just a rule that we are deploying. Am I correct?
Yes. This is subnet 1, this is subnet 2, and this is NSG. NSG. G is also NSG. Network Security Group. So traffic will be allowed only according to the rules. So there are outbound rules which are set up, and there are inbound rules which are set up. Okay, both ways. Okay, at this side, if the traffic is going outside, it is known as outbound traffic, which will follow outbound rules. Traffic. And if the traffic is going this to this side, then it's an outbound for this side. But if the traffic is going or coming this side, then it is known as inbound. And here also it is known as inbound, if it is coming to this side. So inbound rules and outbound rules you need to set up. So here what? Outbound rules for outbound traffic and inbound rules for inbound traffic. Here. Okay. Here also inbound rules, here also outbound rules. Both ways. Everyone is understanding what I'm trying to say?
Yes, Abhishek.
So generally peering will be blocked. So you have to set up like this. You have to set up NSG. Then you have to allow the traffic on both the sides. Then only, even if you are allowing from one side, then also it will not accept. So you have to allow it from both the sides. Okay. So if you are setting up an outbound rule here, so you have to set up an inbound rule here as well. Otherwise, if you set up an outbound rule here that the traffic is going, and until and unless you set an inbound rule here, this will not accept.
It has to be bidirectional.
Bidirectional, correct. It has to be bidirectional. Okay, then only each of both of will understand that the traffic is coming and coming to us or going outside from us. Okay, so this is traditional method which generally companies follow. And
So,
Azure method is simple. Just establish a link, a peering link between both, and everything will work for you. That is Azure connectivity method.
uh,
So, yeah.
hey, Abhishek, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Mhm.
So I think so by subnet to subnet, it is possible, right, to
Mhm.
establish the connectivity
Mhm.
using the second custom method.
Yes.
Okay, but
So
node to node
actually
is also possible.
what that will do is that will not allow the traffic for all the subnets inside the VNet. In peering method, what happens? All the subnets are connected to each other.
No, that I got it.
Yes.
What I mean is, if we need to, to establish the connectivity, not by a subnet, but a specific group of nodes to
A specific
communicate with the other.
resource you want.
Exactly.
So you
Yeah.
can configure NSG on that specific resource.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, NSG can be configured to subnet also, to the resource also. Got it?
Correct.
NSG is
Yes.
like main gate, and after coming inside the main gate,
Actually, it is a network layer security, layer 4. If you have seen OSI model, according to that, is a
Yeah.
network level security. Okay.
Transport. Correct. Yeah.
NSG will not work outside the VNet. Remember. Okay. So if you have seen OSI model, so there are 7 layers in the OSI model, right?
Correct.
So 7 layers are there. 7 layers of OSI, Open System Interconnection Model. So according to that, the basic, like the first layer you have is like, just a minute, Mm, physical, physical data network, transport, session and
presentation,
and application.
So generally, if you see, network layer is third one, but the third layer only resolves when there is a transport between the resources. So generally, we call it as a layer 4 only. Okay. So NSG is set up on network security group is set up on layer 4. Layer 4. It is known as layer 4 security group. And then there is an ASG. It is known as layer 7. That's why it is known as application security group, because it works on application layer and this works on network layer. Network layer means within any network, within the VNet. And layer 7 means it can work across the VNet. That's why it is layer. And this one is powerful. Okay. A whole server, a whole subnet is needed to run an application gateway. Okay. So that is the difference. So network security group only works within the virtual network. Now, either you can attach it to the subnet, either you can attach it to any resource inside the subnet. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we'll continue in the next class. It's already 10. I have to go somewhere. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Abhishek.